Hi everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. Today we are taking a look at the 1-year anniversary of Overwatch. So yes, believe it or not, about a year ago, Overwatch came out in its full release form. So, in terms of the history of Overwatch, in case you've forgotten in that year, it was originally called Only Watch, and the reason why is because Blizzard ran an incredible marketing campaign when it came to Overwatch. What they did was release closed beta copies without an NDA to a lot of very popular streamers and media people. They essentially allowed Twitch and Twitch streamers to drum up the hype for the game. There was a limited beta period that existed around Thanksgiving of 2015, going up until almost the new year, and then it dropped. Then it came up again, I think maybe, well, it came back from its closure to the restricted status in February, and then there were a few open beta weekends scattered until May when some pre-order people were able to get into it early, and then it dropped completely. Looking back on the year of Overwatch, what was its major sources of competition? Well, pretty much I would say Battleborn and Paladins. There is another game out there on the PlayStation 4 called Paragon. Now, Paragon is by Epic. However, Paragon is definitely a MOBA. Paragon probably shares more in common with, I guess, Smite. Battleborn was what I like to call a MOBA light. Battleborn is similar to Overwatch. However, it definitely has more MOBA elements in it, and whereas Paladins and Overwatch are straight hero or champion related shooters. Now, Paladins is probably the one that is most directly competing with Overwatch in terms of the gameplay style. There are a lot of characters that bounce back and forth between Overwatch and Paladins in terms of its similarity. And even in other games, for example, here, Soldier 76 is similar to Battleborn's Oscar Mike, and also the soldier character that is in Paladins. I'm forgetting his name right now, but I happen to remember he actually has like a army toy skin. The little like green army dudes and everything. Pharah is similar to Dragas, the fire-breathing dragon. They have an archer that is similar to Hanzo. Reinhardt is similar to Fernando. The thing is, Paladins is completely free to play. Paladins was noted for having a very cheap Founders Pack at about $20. Also, Gigantic has existed in the background of this, but unlike the others, Gigantic is not out of beta yet. Gigantic, much like Battleborn, is a MOBA light. It has MOBA elements in it and doesn't necessarily directly compete with Overwatch the way Paladins does. So in the year that we've had Overwatch, we've had events like the Olympic event in the summer of 2016. So we had the Summer Olympics here in Overwatch, which gave us the temporary game of Lucio Ball, where everybody got to play Lucio, and it was somewhat similar to Rocket League. And at the time, we got some skins and everything like that, like a soccer player for Lucio. He's actually who I was using as a Lucio skin for quite some time. Then we had the Halloween event, which gave us some things as the Tombstone, victory poses. We had Anna with a scary mask. Of course, there was stuff for Reaper, Pharah, so on and so forth. And then we had the Christmas holiday event, which was the, hey, May isn't as fat as she used to be controversy. And we've had the Lunar New Year. Well, it's basically the holiday event, but close to it. And there's been a few other events along the way. So Overwatch has, of course, kept us going with events along the way. We also have had new heroes in Ana. And then we added Orisa. And we had Sombra. And that is pretty much it for the new heroes. Back in the beta, people like Genji were added during the beta. Mei was added during the beta. And I believe that was it for releases that were not, like, at the very start of the beta and came out along the way. Maybe Diva. I think Diva was released during the beta and was not there at day one. Some significant changes that we've had is that Ana's gone up and down in power level. Lucio's gone up and down in power level. Roadhog hooks have happened. Tracer's butt controversy, which in all honesty was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and I really am sad that Blizzard caved on that one and did not perhaps properly stick up for the pose and say it could very well be in Tracer's character. If you were reading sexuality into it, that is your own perception. However, you can view this pose as significantly spunky as her. Instead of her giving out a middle finger to people, she's showing her ass like, haha, kiss my ass, I'm going to dash away from you. Unfortunately, Blizzard caved slightly, and the pose was changed. We have also had some controversy in terms of characters, background, ethnicities, and races. More recently, Pharah. So, Pharah, as we can see, predominantly looks Egyptian with an Eye of Horus tattoo. And, you know, Ana's heritage seems to hint that Pharah is, of course, going to be Egyptian. However, with things like Rain Dancer and Thunderbird, people are like, wow, you've now made her Native American. You cannot appropriate her over to being Native American simply because she's brown. Brown people are not interchangeable. Jesus fucking Christ, people. Calm the hell down. Then Blizzard went ahead and said, well, actually, as you can see from the comics, her father is Canadian. It is entirely possible to be Native North American, Canadian, and Egyptian through her mother. Ta-da! She's of mixed race. People weren't satisfied with that and actually said, wow, how convenient that you just mixed up two brown races for her and justified her having... People, it's a fucking skin. Who cares? Does it necessarily have to represent her race? I mean, a lot of them do, but does it have to be about that? So there has been some controversy along the way, and everybody expected Zarya to be the gay icon, and then it was Tracer. Fine, but you know, honestly, this is a video game. We don't necessarily have to get up in arms in it. When I see Pharah's wings over here for this outfit, I think of a mosquito. Is that racist against mosquitoes? I don't think so. So, things that I've collected along the way. Of course, the pre-order gave you Security Chief, which I used for a long time. Now I'm over at Frostbite, but I also happen to really, really like Anubis. I love the helmet for Anubis, and I love the black. I think it is cool as shit. I've always wanted, not Raptorian or Mecha Queen, I would like Rain Dancer or Thunderbird. Bedouin, if I happen to get, nah. So, Ana, who was released during the year, I have her running Ghoul, but I've also had her as Tau, which is sufficiently creepy, and I actually have her as Wasteland, which reminds me of the guy who flicked his nose a few times in Star Wars A New Hope. I think he was telling somebody that somebody was there. I might have been in the canteen and went, wow, wow, and he flicked his nose a little bit. That's what this reminds me of. Or Star Wars Sand People to a certain degree. I hate it when I have a lot of cool skins for a character and I can't decide. So Bastion saw some changes from the beta. And actually, we'll come back to that in a moment. We will see if she has any skins here for the event. No, she doesn't. Captain Amari and Horus, they're cool skins. Wadjet's cool too. So people are able to dance now in the game. And her dance. Oh my god. She reminds me of, like, the Nutcracker. Like, it would be a background dancer in the Nutcracker or something, like a Sugar Plum Fairy. So Candy is, of course, a classic emote for her. Disapproving is also very cool. Not impressed when you put somebody to sleep is quite amazing. Bastion. So Bastion saw some changes over the year. In the beta, when deployed, he actually had a front shield, similar to Torborn's turrets. It was deemed too powerful and it was taken out. And Bastion was eventually in the scrap pile in terms of usage, especially when on offense. Recent changes to Bastion have enabled him to regain some life. I have his BlizzCon 2016. I have his Overgrown because of the pre-order. Null Sector came out from the Null Sector event. Not that crazy about the purple. He has a new one called Dune Buggy, which I honestly love. I love the piping on this one. Ganymede, not that crazy about his new look on this one. The checkered flag is pretty cool. Not as big of a fan of his face. Well, here he's actually a pigeon. Oh, is that... Yeah, well, that kind of explains some of the patina there. There's Woodbot, and he gets a woodpecker. Let's see if he has a dance. So he has Robo Boogie. Ha! Oh, man, that's awesome. Okay, that is cool. I would love to kill somebody's Bastion and drop that on them. So, Diva has the officer skin from the HOTS, or the Heroes of the Storm tie-in. I am a big-time HOTS player if you watch my channel, so I was able to get Officer Diva relatively easy. I actually have, like, no cheesy skins for her. I went right from the default to getting things like White Rabbit, Tegaguki from the Olympics, Scavenger, Biva, Officer. Her new one from the New Year's event was Palanquin. And she also has Cruiser, which is Rosie the Riveter. And it does kind of look like Prowl from the Transformers, a certain degree. But that is a nice throwback there to a kind of Rosie the Riveter. Earphones are a little out of place, but that's splitting hairs. So she has Dance. Oh god, I know that. I know that one with the hands to the ground like that. I recognize it, but I'm not placing it. And she has Game On, which is legendary, one of the few legendary emotes. But it's honestly very cool, because that's Lost Vikings from StarCraft. The arcade game in the bars in StarCraft. And there's her rip, there's her lucky pouch. So Genji has a new skin also. So there's Blackwatch from that event. A lot of people are running this lately. There's Sentai, which looks kind of like... I mean, that's so very clearly old Japanese anime. I've heard things like the Power Rangers and Voltron, although the Voltron one is stupid. That looks nothing like Pidge. But also reminds me of, from Saga Frontier, Red, I think it was. The guy who had the secret superhero identity at Red and Al Kaiser, I believe. So just very classic. I honestly don't play Genji a lot. The girlfriend does. But I have a lot of really good skins for Genji, including Oni from the Heroes of the Storm tie-in twice. This was available via Heroes of the Storm twice. Hanzo got a couple good skins here. I have Young Hanzo, and he now has Cyber Ninja, which honestly, this one, if I played Hanzo more, I would be happy to have. I would love that skin. I think that's a really cool skin for him. His dance, Fisherman Dance. Interesting. Can't necessarily say I recognize that one. Junkrat, I could almost say I'm a Junkrat main to a certain degree. I play Junkrat a lot. I ran Toasted for a long time until I earned Junkenstein. I recently switched over to Jester just because I've Junkenstein so much. I need a little bit of diversity there. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any skins from this event. He has the Running Rat. Yeah, okay. Definitely. A little bit of kid and play action over there. If only he jumped his peg leg. It would be really cool if he jumped his peg leg. I would like that emote. That would be pretty cool. Lucio is my biggest healer over the last year. I was running Slapshot for a while. And I've switched back to Auditiva just because I kind of got tired of Slapshot. So there's Breakaway. That was one of his soccer ones. And of course, Hippity Hop and Ribbit, which is represented for him in Heroes of the Storm. Salacio and Striker. And then there is Jazzy, which whenever I see this one, it just makes me think of Smooth Criminal. I know it's not necessarily Smooth Criminal so much as it's 1920s-ish. But I think it's Smooth Criminal. And here you go. Smooth. It's not necessarily Smooth Criminal related. If he stopped and leaned heavily, I think it would be. But you never know. Maybe Blizzard's like, oh, make him dance like a black guy because he's a black guy. What the fuck? So I'm McCree sometimes. Girlfriend is a big McCree player. Riverboat, Vigilante, and there was Blackwatch, which makes him, I think of X-Men Wolverine, X-Force Wolverine when I see that. For his emotes, he has a line dance, which certainly makes sense. Line dance is based in a two-step. Unfortunately, I liked somebody in college who liked country line dancing, so needless to say, I learned a little bit of country dancing just to hang out with that chick, unfortunately. I have played an excessive amount of May over the year, but I've recently come off of her a little bit. I don't use her nearly as much. My favorite skin for her was Abominable. That's who I was using for the most part. But I got Changji somewhat recently. Not that crazy about Firefighter and Rescue May, but I honestly, Abominable is my favorite of hers. There's also Luna, and now there is Beekeeper, which I think is pretty cool. And Lord knows you don't have to worry about her looking overly thin in her Beekeeper uniform. I mean, when people complain that she looked too thin, people have to realize she had a sash that does lessen her waist a little bit, and now actually I think she has an even dumpier, well, the legs are still relatively thin, but just people picked apart some of these skins. It was ridiculous. Let's see if she's got a dance. So she has Sunny Dance, which looks about as awkward as you would expect it to be. And she sort of reminds me of Alex in that uniform with that dance. She reminds me of Alex in Modern Family. That's the emote I've been using. And I like, where's the foot one? Is it this one? Yes, I love this one in the Abominable outfit. So, taking a look at Mercy, who's fallen in and out of favor and now seems to be back. I've got Amber, Devil, and Imp. A good friend of mine. Echo is a big Mercy player. She also had Witch, Sigrun and Valkyrie, and Combat Medic Ziggler from the Overwatch event. Was never a big fan of this one. I've heard that her dance is the female Tauren dance. Yup. It definitely is. It's Do the Hustle. It is the female Tauren dance. A little bit different with the slight float over there, but that's the female Tauren dance from World of Warcraft. So Orisa, right when she dropped, I got her and then bought Carbon Fiber. She also had Null Sector, which is amazing, because it makes her look like a mech from the Front Mission games. Her dance. Oh god, it's basically like if a horse could dance. Farah, we looked at her. She has that new skin, Bedouin. And I've seen her dance. God, that's probably going to look... That is cool. I actually really like her emote. That probably would look very good with the black Jackal one. So, Reaper had some skins along the year. His pre-order was Overwatch-First. I happen to earn El Blanco, which I love. One of my favorite skins for him. Shiver is amazing from the Christmas event. He also had Pumpkin from the Halloween event, which is very common. I see a lot of Pumpkin Reapers. His dance, he just basically doesn't give a shit. Drops the guns, sits along the walls, and is a wallflower. Reaper don't give no fucks. Reinhardt, along the way, I got Bloodheart and Wu Jing, and I unfortunately never ever Reinhardt. There's Coldheart from, believe it or not Christmas, but Halloween event. Lieutenant Wilhelm from the Omnic event that happened. His dance, I believe, was a waltz. Yup, it's a waltz. Left 2 3, right 2 3, left 2 3, right. Yeah, don't ask how I know this shit. Roadhog. So Roadhog caught a little bit of shit too. People originally believed that he was Australian because of Junkrat, and then he started getting these Islander skins, and Blizzard was like, he's a fucking New Zealander. Shut up. So he had the pig one from, which is just downright creepy as hell, from the Lunar New Year's event. He also had Junkenstein's monster. His dance is the Cabbage Patch. God, from the side, that looks hysterical. I have to watch him go to the side one more time. God, his neck and his head looks hysterical from the side. Soldier 76 has a killer new skin that I like. I can't wait to see this. So I have his pre-order skin. I have Smoke. I would also be happy with Bone. I don't like any of his legendaries. I don't like any of the Commandos. Don't like any of the Daredevils. But Cyborg, my god, fucking Tron. Tron with a Gear VR. I would love to get his Cyborg skin. His dance is... yeah, it's kind of a dad dance after 2 or 3 Coronas at a summer barbecue. 3 or 4 Coronas. So Sombra was a new character in the year. I have her Peppermint. Also cool is Azucar and Los Muertos. Augmented Cyberspace. Honestly, I would be okay with Cyberspace, but I think I would go for the Azucar and the Los Muertos ones myself. Here's her dance, which honestly is one of the more involved ones. I like her dance a lot. I think it's one of the most modern ones, one of the most involved. I'm a big fan of her dance on that one. Symmetra has a new skin, and finally a skin that I would actually really like to have for her. So a lot of her higher skins, I'm not that crazy about. Devi and Goddess caused some controversy. There was a Hindu leader out there who was known for trying to make sure that Hindu people were represented correctly in games in the media, and did not like the sexuality factor of Devi and Goddess and complained. Fortunately, Blizzard did not change it. Her new one is Oasis, and my god, would I love to have Oasis for my Symmetra. I would finally be like, yes, an expensive skin for Symmetra that is just absolutely kick-ass. It's almost Ghost in the Shell-ish to a certain degree. Oh, yeah, let's see about her dance. Yeah. So here's Torborn. Not too many major changes for him over the year. His interesting skins, so there's his Olympic skin. There's his winter skin. And there's his Overwatch event skins. His dance. Wow. The whitest dance of all time. That's what I'm just going to call that dance, as white guy. So, Tracer. Not much has changed with her in a year. Slipstream was her pre-order. She had track and field from the Olympics. She had Sprinter from the Olympics. Jingle from Christmas. Cadet Oxton from the Overwatch event. I like the colors, hate the pill hat. And Graffiti is her current one. I like it. If you first see the hood, it looks out of context until you know the name of it and then look at the pants, the leggings, and you're like, oh yeah, there actually used to be an MMO skating game for a little while, New Jack City. This kind of reminds me of like New Jack City. So her dance is the Charleston, which would be really good with the pill hat. The Oxton one, I think, would look really good for that. But it looks out of place for her other skins, in all honesty. Widowmaker has a new skin. She hasn't changed much over the year. I have her pre-order, which I used for a long time. It honestly is a really cool skin. But I like Huntress because of when the visor's down. I also have Patina. Girlfriend is a big Widowmaker player. I rarely ever use her. She got Talon from the event, which is pretty cool. She has Tricolor from the Olympics. I thought she had a new skin. She doesn't. Her dance is Ballet, which, in all honesty, is quite fitting. I think it was what it was is I was disappointed that Widowmaker did not get a skin. Because she's iconic of the franchise. So you would think for a year anniversary she'd get something. So I don't monkey very much. I don't Harambe. I have his Horizon. I have Yeti from the winter. Wukong was his New Year's event. For emotes. Just come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Come on, baby. Let's do the... Oh, wow. Yeti's jetpack in the back. God, I've never noticed that. I have never seen him from the back or the side and did not realize those were skulls. That is ridiculously stupid of me, and they are really cool. Zarya, not too many changes in the year. I have a lot of cool skins for her, and I do play a lot of Zarya. She's one of my go-to tanks. I had Champion for a while, and then I switched over to Siberian Front. She has Champion from the Olympics. She has Frosted from the winter. Weightlifter from the Olympics, and Siberian, which I don't even... words cannot describe this outfit. I really don't know what to say about this. I literally cannot say anything about it, other than the fact that I can't say anything about it. Mystery gift for the winter, like the Russian dolls. I wonder, does she ever get to the end? I've never actually watched this to see... Nope, she just gives up. She has a dance. It's a weightlifting pose dance. It's something you can imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger doing. Or ladies doing in fitness competitions. And finally, Zenyatta. There is a rumor that eventually his orbs were going to go through shields. I don't know if that's ever happened or not. Skullyatta from Halloween. Nutcracker from Christmas. And Senzang from the Chinese New Year. Love all of his skins. Ifrit is something I would love to pick up at one point. All of his high-level skins, I honestly just love. I mean, Ascendant has cool contrast. Harmonious, which what I use, has very cool contrast. And his emotes dance, which I think is very cool. And of course, the events have given us other things along the way, like perspective and so on and so forth. So that is a year in Overwatch. This login screen here is very similar to Marvel Heroes' current login screen. And let's see what I pull out of the box. Uh-oh. Oh, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Fucking Genji. Oh man, I wish this was like Here's the Storm where I could reroll. God damn Genji. Well, I don't want Lemon Lime because I have Officer, but that's cool. Fucking Genji. I might have to start playing Genji now just to piss everybody off. So I have still 6 of the Uprising events, 10 of the Lunars, and 10 of the Standards because of the Heroes of the Storm event. So, thanks for checking out this video with me, guys. Now is a great of time as any to get into Overwatch. Sadly, you missed the Heroes of the Storm tie-in, but we have new stuff going on in, I believe, the arcade. We have the Lockout elimination, and we have some new maps over here. Of course, Capture the Flag is still around. That's for us old bees of Quake and UT. When we had things like TDM and Capture the Flag and Domination and everything. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you out here on the playing field of Overwatch. Happy anniversary.